Hello, this is Vault for Life 8657, and welcome to the Daily Blitz, a series of videos designed to get you started and up and running with Madden NFL 22. These videos are designed for the blind and visually impaired. If you like the content that you are hearing, please hit the subscribe button or contact me at thefollower212@gmail.com. I am currently sitting in the Home tab of the franchise interface for Madden NFL 22, and they have changed things a pretty big deal since 21. Used to, you would have your Things to Do tab, you had a Rosters tab, which had things like Manage Roster, Depth Chart, things of that sort. You had another tab over that had if you were an owner, that would, or if you were a coach or an owner, that had things like manage, that had things like my owner, my team, my coach, things of that sort. Well, that's all changed now. Everything that a coach will need to do, and we're only showing the coach part of this, because this is a coach-ran franchise, the role of the coach, is found in the Home tab. And we will briefly explore the other tabs here, but we're going to take a look mostly at things in the Home tab. So I'm going to go back up to the top, and this does wrap. So Manage Staff. This is new. This is where you can hire and fire your staff, but it's also where you view your talent trees. We will be looking at that in depth in another episode.
Manage Roster is selected.
Manage Roster. We will take a look briefly inside of here. There are important things in here. Pressing A.
Options. Adjust Lineup is selected.
Adjust Lineup. This was in the old roster tab from last year.
Depth Chart.
Depth Chart.
NFL Rosters.
NFL Rosters. This is all the NFL rosters according to how they are in your current franchise.
Reassign players.
You can reassign players.
Team salaries.
You can view salaries.
Improve team.
You can improve your team, and in here will be things like trades and free agents.
Injury report.
Injury report.
Trade center.
There's the trade center. That used to be under improved team. It is now under the roster tab. The roster.
Free agents.
Trades and free agents is now under the roster.
Adjust Lineup.
And we're back to Adjust Lineup. So that is the roster section of the Home tab. I hit B to go back. Let's go down again.
Staff Moves is selected.
Staff Moves. This is where you can see, and we will take briefly a look in here.
Staff Moves screen. 2 rows, 6 columns, left filter, all name green.
Yes, I fired the original offensive coordinator just because.
Pause.
His position was OC, offensive coordinator.
Age 34.
34.
Team Texans.
He was for the Texans.
Status fired.
He was fired.
Talents 2.
He had 2 talents. Now, while menu narration does an excellent job of reading the columns here, what it will not read is the talents that this person actually has. And if you think that I sound frustrated about that, wait until we actually get more in depth into this. You will see just how lacking menu narration is for this, and I put the onus on this fully on EA.
Entering week. Entering French. Manage Roster is Staff Moves is play preseason game is selected.
And of course we can play the preseason game. And Advanced Week.
Training complete.
Training is complete.
Manage Staff.
And we're back to Manage Staff. Let's take a look briefly at the other tabs. I'm going to hit right bumper.
News.
We go straight to the news. Here's something that this is done to... I almost feel this is done tauntingly. Remember how in Madden 20 and Madden 21 the news wouldn't read at all? Watch this.
Top stories. Pittsburgh passing the torch. Replacing greatness in the Superdome. Fortifications for Kansas City. Julio heads to Nashville.
It reads the headlines. It does not actually read the news article. The article is still being displayed on screen. Let's see how OCR does with this, since we're here.
Task switching, meeting controls. Full screen projector source Elgato. Full screen context menu. System menu. Leaving menu. Ops 27.0.1. Okay, so this is actually pretty good. They actually have an excellent font, so we can look at these stories as long as menu narration is focused on them. This is okay. So while you are in the news area and you are using a capture card and using OCR, or you're using remote play and OCR, you can actually read the news. It's a lot cleaner than Madden 21, where in 21 it was just a jumbled, garbled mess. You can actually see what's going on in here. So this is good. This is good. Let's see if we can see reactions to stories. And it does tell us who it's from, so we know this is Jonathan Coachman speaking. This is very nice. This is very nicely done as far as the font goes. I'm very impressed with this. Let's look at one more story here. There's a story that has interested me for a while. All right, let's take a look and see what the analysts have to say about it. Yes, I want to see what Charles Davis says about that. Now, what I don't like is that it only shows the reactions.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Did you hear what I said?
No, I did not hear what you said.
I said you should tell them how to navigate to the comments. Also, unlike last year where comments were associated with stories per se, all the comments are listed together, and it's not necessarily based on one story or another.
Yeah,
There's one long column of stories, one long column of comments, and they don't necessarily have anything to do with each other.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm seeing is the comments for is the Kareem Hunt story. Now, to navigate to the comments when you're scrolling the news, you just go to the right once with your directional pad or left stick, and you can see the names of the people and see the headlines. If you go back left,
And if you go back left from the headlines, you can filter these. Yeah, they have changed it a little bit. It's for better or for worse. I just wish that menu narration read this stuff, because the news is supposed to play a key role in how you manage things, and they did not make that accessible. Let's see, what else is here besides the news? We have your schedule, stats and awards, X Factor database, league transactions, that is everything that goes on in the league, you can see it. League history, which the commentary team this year will, if you are a team that busts or if you're a team that wins it all, they will acknowledge that subtly throughout the next season. So good to see EA fix that. This is your team schedule, or this is the schedule which it wraps. And of course, you have your options, your franchise settings, user settings, user teams, demand release. That is for being a coach. I could technically have myself traded somewhere else, but I'm not going to do that. And then we wrap back to the home screen. So I'm going to exit franchise. And this concludes Daily Blitz Episode 2, a look around the new interface for franchise mode.
And feel free to edit me out. I was just giving you information that they don't necessarily have that you needed to give them.
Mm-hmm.